Hello, and we live. Hey, hold on. Let me see what we got here. There it goes. Let's see what we got. I guess we live. Yep, we've been live for about a few seconds here. Hey, Buzz, how you doing, boss? I don't know. I was just sitting here. Did you get your glass of tea, Buzz? See how many we got? I can't even tell. I don't like anybody's in here. Can you hear me okay, Buzz? Glad to see you. Okay, that's good to say. At least I can know somebody's listening to me. You know, I'm all screwed up on this thing, Buzz. I can't see how many people are here or nothing. I must be looking in the wrong spot. Oh, yeah, I can see it up top there. I was looking in the wrong spot. Poppy 44, how you doing? Gina Lee. All right, we're getting a boy surprise. Neilio from Ohio. Whereabouts in Ohio, boss? We got family over near Marietta. And I lived in Columbus for a couple of years. I had quite a few friends all over the state at one time when I lived up there. Nine, 10. One like already. I can't see that mess up yonder. Massachusetts, Mary Albert. How y'all doing? I hope y'all had a nice day, man. We had a good day down here, man. We really did. I started out today. I was going to go visit my little ladies. When they get off of their get away from the Y in the morning, they do go down to the Y and have a little meeting, do some exercise. And I was going to go visit them because they about once a month they go have some breakfast when they get finished. But I got down there a little late, I guess, because when nobody around, I was just going to harass them for a few minutes. Snowing here in Staunton, man, that's terrible. That's awful. Had an uncle stationed in Staunton at one time. Brown Steelers after Steve. I don't know, Buzz. You ain't had much luck lately. Columbus for a couple years. Nice area. It was when I was there, but it was pushing 40 years ago. Yeah, it was. We lived over near the Budweiser Brewery up on the north end of the city. South Carolina, sunshine. Oh, you know what? That's got me. It brought me up on something. Last live, somebody had mentioned, want to know what that was, and it's just a daggone bamboo cutting board. It's just fancy. It's what it is. But it's got wife's got another one. She bought one here a while back. It's made from the same company, but this one's smaller and thinner. Got a piece you can hang it from. But it's got all the little towns wrote on it. Charleston, Hilton Head, Myrtle Beach, stuff like that. And she got it because little town she grew up down the road from. Yeah, Bennettsville is up there in the north corner. My mama and them's from right over here off of 95. Dillon, right up yonder. Ain't on here. But the wife's from a little place right outside of Bennettsville there. And so I think my daughter gave her this one, or somebody gave her this one for a gift. Oh, I love the cutting board. What company makes it? I think it says they make them for all the states. Totally Bamboo is the name on here. I don't know where they get it from. She got this from a junk store. Yeah, it says it on the back, Totally Bamboo. So you can see that. But my daughter bought that offline, I believe, somewhere. But anyways, Somebody's asked that on the last one. I didn't catch it live, so I figured I'd bring it up now. A lot of times I'll go back and I'll read the comments after the end of the video, and I'll see it. Thank you, Steve. No problem, Mary. Might make a good Christmas gift. Browns, Steelers. Who you picking, Buzz? But I wanted to I was gonna bring up songs and music on this one. Got quite a few people, I don't know, quite a few, 3, 4 maybe, that have guitar in their channel name, and Kiss's greatest fan. He always has Kiss in his channel name. I thought they might get a kick out of it, just talking about some songs, because man, music's important, man. It bring you up when you're down, you know. Take you back, remembering some good times and stuff, you know. And it's like I said, I get a lot of my stuff off of music. Like that last video I made, I don't know if it was the last one or not, last week, about you can only do what you can do or something like that, the best you can or some bull. Earlier that day, I'd watched a video on here. I'm terrible with singers and songs. The wife's good at it, man. She can pick them out. She knows exactly that stuff. I just know little bits and pieces, all of it. But something to be proud of. On I think Montgomery Gentry sang that. I had listened to that earlier in the day, and I thought how true that was, man. So I made a video about it. Steelers would fill the Browns Stadium. I don't know, man. You guys got to get on the good side of things once in a while. You got a decent club. It's better than a lot of them, I can tell you that. Just seem to be snake bit, so. But yeah, so that, I mean, heck, I even done one video a couple years ago titled it was a Hank Jr. song, I believe. Yeah, the interest is up and the stock market's down. I didn't want to sing it because I was afraid I'd get copyright strike or some bull. YouTube's funny about that stuff. We got one of them little discs that you can talk to and they'll give you answers to. Because if you say that name, I've gotten strikes on here before from it. They'll take it as I don't know, some kind of strike they'll give you on it. So you got to be careful about what you say on here. Browns fan sad. Yeah. Can't all be winners. But so, and I made one earlier in the spring. I was talking about my boy. It was I think that video was called "Been in Trouble with the Law Since the Day He Was Born," and that pretty much rings true for him. He was still in his crib, and the cops called me, told me they had him in jail. I had to go get him. It's just little things leaking across the hall. I got such a kick out of that. That guy had given him a wrong number. Just happened to be mine, is what it was. I fought with that cop. He thought I was still sleepy, I guess. I don't know. But so yeah, I'll hear a piece of song or something. A lot of times you can tell what kind of video I'm making because of what song you'll be able to hear, tell what kind of music I've been listening to because of what the video is. If it's an upbeat video, if it's a serious video, depending on what I've been listening to that day. And the first song a lot of people pick for the retirement song is that "Take His Job and Shove It." But mine was daggone Merle Haggard and Big City. I mean, that song just described me totally. That whole year, last year of our work before I retired. Turn me loose and set me free. That's all I want. Oh, speaking of which, today we went to me and the baby went to one of them junk sales, estate sale. If that guy didn't have 10,000 albums and records in his basement, he didn't have one. It was unreal what the guy had. And he had everything, man. Gospel, classical. I mean, it was you could just spend a month down there going through all that stuff. You never would have went through it all. 45s and albums, unreal. So it was. I didn't expect that. Well, she didn't say anything about it to me until this morning, I believe. Get up and we'll go. So we went when I got back. I had to run into town. Then I wanted to stop and see my little ladies, but I missed them. And I come on home. We went on up yonder. Had a good time. Hello, Steve. Nanny's Musings. Well, hello. So, but that was amazing. I got me you know, and it also taught me one thing, man. You need to get rid of your junk. Don't nobody want your junk but you, man. I mean, that house was unreal. I asked the lady running it if they ship stuff in. They said no. So we actually had to clear places in here for y'all to walk around in. They didn't even touch the attic. They couldn't get to the attic with all the stuff in it. But I did get me a picture of Ted Williams up yonder. Go along with my other pictures. I blew money on it, but it's a nice picture. It's one of his younger days when he's playing ball. That year he hit no, that wasn't his year. I think it was the year he hit 406. Last time anybody hit 400 is when that picture was from. So I'm happy with it. I paid a couple dollars more than I wanted to, but it was just a couple. But I like that kind of stuff. I actually had to borrow the money from the wife. I didn't have but $5 on me. A couple of ones. Talk about those Civil War sites. Crater was amazing. Oh, I put out a community post, Buzz, telling everybody that this was going to be live tonight. And I'm walking towards a tree on that one. And that's a cucumber tree. It's on Violet Bank Museum there. It's in Colonial Heights. That's the size of that sucker. It reminds me a lot of live oak. You go down to Boone Hall Plantation down in Charleston. Me and the wife went years ago, and they have a bunch of southern live oaks down there. And the limbs, I mean, they're huge, 5-6 foot across. And they lay low across the ground there, and you can sit on them and walk on them and everything else. It's unreal. I'd never seen a tree like that before. And but that cucumber tree reminded me of it because that's exactly the way the limbs go. They get so big and heavy, they weight down and go across. And they got a sign up there at Violet Bank that tells you not to walk on them. It's against the law, actually. But the guy that had that place, that was where Robert E. Lee was camped at the morning that they blew up the crater. And he could hear it. It's just across the river from Petersburg. That's where that dictator, that big mortar, would fire the guns to. It was Camp Chesterfield at the time. And during the siege of Petersburg, it got to hitting Robert E. Lee right regular, so he had to move his headquarters back up this way, right around the corner from me to community college here. Is where he moved it to. They couldn't hit him there. But the explosion caused him to wake up. He was sleeping. It was like 4:30 in the morning, I think it was. But he heard it all the way there. And then he rushed to the site and started guiding his men which way they ought to go and stuff like that, But that was at that Violet Bank. And it's there's some more of that Civil War stuff, that Battle of the Crater stuff. That was an amazing thing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a video about the similarities between Grant and Eisenhower. I just finished reading a book, well, back in the spring here about Eisenhower, the troubles he had for the Second World War and D-Day and the pressures he was under. And it's amazing how similar Grant and Eisenhower's pressures were. And a lot of political pressure on him, man. A lot of political pressure. And it was dragging out the war, a lot of casualties, and people were ready for it to be over. And they were under real pressure to, to end it as quick as they could. And that's what drove Grant to okay that crazy idea that could have worked. And it's kind of what drove Eisenhower to make his decision, I don't know. But that's a nice size hole, and the camera don't do it justice, man. You really got to come up here and take a look at it, And it's nice to go through that park because it gives you steps of the siege of Petersburg all along. It tells you how it started and everything else, because it was like a three-day battle that actually took place, and it didn't go nowhere. But it could have, but they didn't take advantage of their advantage, and they fell back. In the next 9 months, they were just a couple hundred yards apart. So it's impressive. I've been a few times. Went a couple times as a kid, and me and the babies have been, and took my brother-in-law one time. So, but every time I go, I learn something new or relearn something I forgot. Steve's Corner Pantry, yeah. Gettysburg. Yeah, we went to Gettysburg years ago. We took we'd go up to West Virginia when the kids were little. And that's where Dad's from. And we'd stay at an uncle of mine's house, live across the Ohio River, over there near Marietta. And we'd take Route 7 up, go into Pennsylvania, where my aunt's from. And I think I don't know if we did it that way, if we went backwards that time. But it was when the kids were little. We went up through Hershey. That's interesting. You get to go through the Hershey chocolate plant, see how they make the kisses and all that stuff. And the little street lights shaped like kisses in town and stuff. But we stopped by Gettysburg. And I just seen on you could spend a month at Gettysburg and never see everything. I mean, go where the battle took place around the whole town. That was amazing. It's hard to believe. And you stand up there on a little round top looking down where the soldiers were at across that field. Did they come across that field and actually made it to the top of that hill? Just amazing. They got beat back, but it was you don't get me to run across that field. But that's a nice place. That is a nice place. It's huge. Petersburg's pretty good size. I don't know how many thousands of acres it is, but it's nice. I don't know. Just feel that a lot of people don't know the deep history Petersburg has. Very interesting. Have a good night, Doc. Appreciate it. What am I doing for Thanksgiving? I'm going to be sitting on that end of the table. I think my daughter and her husband is going to come by. And the boy will be here. And I think that's it. We ain't going to do a whole lot. We never do. Oh, the wife's already started. She's done made her pie. She made a pecan and a pumpkin. And she made her rolls already. We put them in the freezer outside. So she ain't going to have a whole lot to do. I don't know if she's going to this year. She's talking about making a chicken. But we had started getting it from Cracker Barrel. It's like $70 or something like that when we started getting it. You go down there and get it, and we had leftovers. And at the end of the meal, you just put your lid on it, stick it in the refrigerator. There's no cleanup to it or nothing except for your silverware. I like that because it's easy. She ain't got to be in here cooking and everything, But I don't know if she's going to do that this year or not. She talked about doing a chicken. So we got a couple of turkey. I got a turkey and no in freezer, I believe. I think we got a couple of hams. So I don't know that Not a whole lot, anyways. The deep history of Petersburg. You know, they used to have a siege museum in Petersburg, Brian. I don't know if they still do or not. A buddy of mine at work watches from time to time. He said I might be able to get in up there. They might allow me to video in there. No, I'll have to check on it and see. I don't know if they do or not. But I want to go back up to Violet Bank and do a video there. Because, what was it, Cornwallis come through there when he's be retreating towards Yorktown. That was one of his last major battles up yonder. Right, it's on a hill overlooking the Appomattox. Lafayette was up there back during the Revolution. So it's a pretty interesting place. Oh, but what I was going to get at on that daggone magnolia tree, that cucumber tree, it's a type of magnolia tree. It's supposed to be native to Virginia, but only in the mountains. And it's very rare you see this far on the east, this far away from the Blue Ridge, what it is. But rumor is that was started from a sliver that Thomas Jefferson gave the guy that had that house. That's the same tree. I think it's the second oldest. There's a plaque there in front of it. It's the second oldest cucumber tree in the country, or second biggest, something like that. So that's interesting. See, it don't take much to thrill me. That's why I'll never get bored, man. I'm interested in just about everything under the daggone sun. And if I show any boredom to wife Steve, ain't that right, baby? Might have to sleep in the shed tonight. What are you doing for Thanksgiving, boss? This time of year, I don't do a whole lot of videos either. From now till the first of the year, I just kind of sit back. When do you get snow there? Hopefully, we don't get any till January. If we get snow in January, or in December, it's going to be a bad winter. So, but shoot, it was cool today. It was 50 today, 51, something like that. But it's been cold at night. We ain't had our first frost yet, and that's unusual. But usually in January is our first snow. And we don't have but about 6 weeks of winter, man. Come Valentine's Day come here, that's when I look for things to start turning around. You don't get that bitter coldness. Some of our biggest snows happen in February. But in cold, it gets cold as snot too. But as a general rule, man, if I feel if I can make it to the 14th of February, I mean, I got it whipped. But a year my wife was pregnant with my daughter, we had snow on the ground, or it snowed every day that December. That was a bad one. That was a rough winter. It was either still snow laying on the ground or it snowed every day. Retired and loving it. Keith and Terry. How y'all doing, boss? Man, I want to tell you how much I enjoyed that visit we had down there. The baby was talking about it too. It was nice. It really was. I appreciate you all giving us a holler. You know, when last year y'all did a video about you was going down to Williamsburg down yonder. I told you ought to try it for Christmas down in the historic section. And in the I think it's Merchant Square they call it down there, shopping area down there. When it's lit up for Christmas. It's nice. We went down there years ago. Probably 20, 25 years ago. Been a long time since we've been down there for that part of it. I'd like to go now. It ain't but an hour down the road, but I don't think it will. Heck, Maymont is up in Richmond there. They have a drive-through Festival of Lights thing up yonder. It ain't probably less than 30 minutes from here. We ain't never been to that. So I don't have no desire, to be honest with you. We got 3 inches snow today in Indy. No kidding. Yeah, man. I've been at my uncle's in Ohio one time when for 4th of July week, believe it. And he had the gas heater cut on, just take the chill out there. I couldn't believe that. I said, my goodness. You remember that kind? Hey, baby. She won't even say shut up or not. Might act like I'm on YouTube all the time. So your lakes never freeze over then? It's very rare. Very rare. Well, we don't have that many lakes around here. It's mostly rivers and swampland. You got some private ponds that over the years have froze over. That short I did, or I don't know if it was a short or what it was, about going down Snake Road. Well, that first one-lane bridge you come to has got a big mill house up on the hill, and there's a big lake down there. Look, it's mill ponds, what it is. And I can remember it freezing over one time when I was a kid. But no. 2 inches in Green Bay. Wow. Man, that's making me cold. Makes me want some hot chocolate. How's the budget heading into the holidays? Oh, that's talking to Buds. Yeah. Because something we didn't plan on going into the holidays for retirement was buying for gifts. When I was working, we always had Christmas club. And last year, when I consolidated our bank accounts, I just moved one of them into a Christmas club. We didn't do anything for that this year, so I don't know what we'll do. We usually have extra left over through the month anyways, and it collects. So we'll probably just pull out of that. But that's something you need to plan on. That's one of them occasional expenses you got to plan for when you retire. Summer in Toledo, coldest winter you ever spent. I'm late as normal. That's okay. You get a free pass, Doc. Anytime you want to show up, you show up. That's all I got to say. We just got some snow flurries in southern Indiana. We got one snow in the past 3 winters, I believe, and that was last year. It's just enough to cover the ground. So, but I ain't complaining. I ain't had to use snow shovel in a long time. Don't recognize me without the hat. Yeah, I went into a Quick Stop down the road here years ago, and I always wear my hat. And it's talking to the lady in there. And I took my hat off. She says, "Man, she says, I thought you had a full head of hair." I tried my best not to wear one indoors. I will if I go in the store, but if I go to the cashier, I try to take it off at the cash register. My uncle up there in Ohio, he caught me in his house one time. I forgot I had it on. I didn't even realize it. He says, "Take it off when you're in the house." I felt terrible. So every time now I walk somewhere that I got it on, I try to take it off. It's just decent, I think. So whenever I do one indoors like this, I ain't going to put it on. I will wear a toboggan in the house when it gets cool, though. 22 inches of snow. We had a couple weeks ago. It's still melting in Colorado. Man, Dad's got a nephew that lives out in Colorado. He's about my age. I think he's a little bit older than me. I think his daughter goes to or she did go to the, was it Air Force Academy out there? Yeah, I think it's the Air Force Academy out there. And that's what he was in. He was stationed in Greenland for a while. And they used to, I believe they lived down at the beach there for a while. Got a naval air station down there or whatever. That's where they were living. He shipped over there for a year, I believe, to Greenland. But he didn't take his family. But yeah, Colorado, man, I can't. No. I don't think I could deal with it, man. I really don't. it gets to 50, man, and I put on long johns. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, if I'm out working or something, it's a different story. But if I got to be out in it just to walk or something like that, I can't take it. And I stiffen up. Nah, y'all can have it. But you know, some of the longest living people live in cold areas. You remember Willard Scott? I was patting my bald head. He used to always celebrate birthdays, 100-year-olds for people. And a lot of them people were up in the cool weather. A lot of them were. And if they were from the South or warmer area, it was they were transplants. It's something about that cooler air there that helps with longevity, I believe. I don't know. But I'd noticed that when he was on there. But 22 inches already. We don't get 22 inches in 3 or 4 years. Once in a while, we'll get a big snow, 18, 20, 24 inches. We had one when the kids were little one time. I think they were out of school for 2 weeks. I had one when I was a kid. Them was only 2 big ones I remember. That big. We might have had another one since the kid's been around, but no, usually if we get a big snow around here, it's like 6 inches or something. And you wouldn't believe what shuts down. We went down to Carolina one year in Christmas. I think it was a week before, something like that. Then I had to visit Connie's brother and sister. And it's an hour drive from Fayetteville to Dillon. I think it took us 3 hours on 95. I mean, they just had they had about an inch or two. Time we got to the border. We got to the south of the border. And I think it was a couple inches they had there. And that was a lot. I mean, that place just shut down. But they're not built for it. So it's the same up here. But they've done a lot better up here since when I was a kid. When I was a kid, they didn't even scrape the roads or nothing. They would do the main drag. But in the neighborhoods and everything, nah, you just had to be lucky and get out. And then it always ices over. And then it's just slicker than snot. So it's a hassle, man. I don't get my first pension till after Christmas, so not planning on buying a lot. Gave daughter and her husband money a few months ago. Said that was their Christmas present. Anytime anybody asks me what I want for Christmas, that's what I tell them. I like it green. Make one of the lives. Been keeping up with you in your videos, watching the lives on the tape delay. Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. I'm looking forward to heading south for retirement. Central Florida is the current plan. Match Point QS. Yeah, when I first got laid off from the string factory, I told the wife and kids, hey, man, this is our chance. I can, start over. And that's where I wanted to go, but everybody overruled me. Nobody wanted to leave, so I told them I didn't want to hear anybody gripe about the winter. So they haven't, but I have. Boys, man, you need to stop that, boss. That's nice of you. You ain't got to be doing that, man. I appreciate it. And you might need that to buy you some tears after that Browns game, or buy you some tissues after that Browns game tonight. Yes, Air Force coming out, but to have to say go Army beat Navy. Hey, from Atlanta. Never been to Atlanta. Been to Savannah. We went to Augusta one year. I enjoyed that. But a guy I used to work with, he used to go down there every year. He liked to tour the daggone Coca-Cola plant for some reason. They'd go down there every year for that. Thinking, how many times can you watch them make Coca-Cola? Troy Horn. I just watched Tom Horn last night on TV one. I hadn't seen that in a couple years. That's a good cowboy movie. Who is it? Steve McQueen, I think. I think Steve McQueen plays the lead in that. That's what I think of. That's what I almost said, Troy, when I seen it pop up, because it's in my mind. 251 days. Man, it won't be long, man. You get down to double digits, and you don't realize it. You know. For me, it kind of dragged through the summer when I had probably about 150 days left or something. But once daggone fall got here, come October, before Thanksgiving, I was done. I was ready to get, and it didn't really faze me being in there. It didn't drag or anything. Oh, I love your spinner. Almost time to put it away. Well, I'm glad, daggone it. That was just a fluke, man. Like I said, it was my cousin up in the high used to make them and sell them. He'd put them out and hang them out near the road. People would stop and get them. And I seen you had some other spinners and stuff out there. And I figured, hey, man, that'd be nice. Plus, it'd be painted in them Browns colors. I said, heck, I ain't got nothing to do. I'd knock around for a few minutes and put it together. But I'm glad. I hope you and your wife enjoy it for a few years anyways. It might last through the winter. I don't know, man. It's southern wood made by a southern fella, so I didn't build it for Cleveland winters. 47 days for Troy. These last days are killing me because I almost not want to care anymore. Yeah. I feel you. It's like you don't want to. Well, that's the thing. That was, I felt obligated to finish the time out. You don't owe anything to anybody, but I think that's one reason I didn't leave earlier. I said I was going to wait till the end of January, so I did. But I don't know. I hear you. Yep. My son went to grad school in Augusta. First winter they got some snow ice being for my ice scraper. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that used to tick me off too. Well, I'd have to get up early in order to get into the plan because they wouldn't scrape the roads. And before I left to go to the plant in the morning, so I'd have to scrape my windows every morning. Not every morning, but after we got some snow or an ice storm or some bull. And I used to sit out there thinking, man, I hate this. I won't have to do this in a couple more months. Well, when I was getting ready to retire, I said, next year I ain't going to have to do this. It just sit there and froze up if it wants to. I ain't going to have to touch it. So I guess I need to start the countdown. I need to start the count. Do I count down from the last day of vacation or the last day of actual work? Well, I retired the last day of January, but I consider I retired the last day of December because I only worked a couple of days in January. So time February first got here and I was actually retired, I was pretty much on a roll by then. It don't make no difference, Swamp Rat. It's your retirement. You can start whenever you want. That's the way I look at it. That's why I always say I retire. And I act like I retired at the end of the year when I really had another month to go. Thought everyone just a credit card for an ice scraper. Oh yeah. Yeah. Nah, I got no desire to do that. Be honest with you, I'd like if I could I'd like to step out of town if I know we was going to get some snow. It's pretty. Hey, man, don't get me wrong. And there ain't nothing beats daggone a quiet evening like this, man. That snow laying there. And it's all still and quiet outside. It acts as a dampener for the noise. You don't believe how peaceful an evening can be or a morning till you got a few inches of snow on the ground. It's nice. It is. And the wife likes it. She likes it. Mom loves it. It's because they ain't got to go out in it. But she'll have all the blinds pulled up in the house, and she loves to watch it snow. Problem is, around here, as a general rule, it ain't cold enough during the day for it to snow. It usually snows overnight when the temperatures drop. Once in a while, we'll get it during the day, but generally our snows come at night. Now, when we get them big ones, it might snow all day, but that doesn't happen often. On actual calendar days, it makes me sad when the weekend holidays doesn't make the number go lower. I count it every day on my calendar. I just took it down the other day off the back of my shed. I use it for, I got a BB gun I got when I was a kid. The thing's probably pushing 50 years old. It's a Crosman Power Master 760. That's what I'm using on them squirrels here this week. And I was out there. I used that piece of cardboard and that calendar for a target out there the other day, sighting it in. I ain't shot it since kids were little. I'm surprised it still holds pressure. But I count it every day. Yeah, every day of the year. And I marked it off every 50 days. I had it, I had 200 days left, then I had 150, then I had 100. That's what I did. And then when I got down towards the end there, I think I counted. Once I got to 10 weeks left, I started going by the week. Seemed like it was closer. I only got 9 weeks this time. Best benefit of retirement, Camel Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, hopefully the first class of the year, there'll be a little something special happening that week. That one. I don't know. I've been talking to a fellow on here, but I don't know whether we're going to be able to meet up or not. We'll see. I'd enjoy it. If not, hey man, buddy of mine from work to watch us from time to time said he'd be retiring here shortly, and he just lives down the road. So I'll get him on here if he'll come on and ring the bell. I don't mind the snow. It's the ice. Yeah. Yeah, the ice is dangerous. I don't know. I talk about our retire early journey, I believe. Jim and Sherry. I think they're up in like New Hampshire or somewhere. They're up in the northeast U.S. He's just a young fella. Well, I think he's in his mid 40s. But a few years ago, he had a bad fall on the ice up yonder, and it caused him a bad head injury. And that's one of the reasons where they moved to Tennessee, and that's one of the reasons he's looking to get out early because of it. So that ice is dangerous. It's real bad on your daggone steps. So great to see you. My backyard science. Well, it's great to see you too. Hopefully December is it for me. Scared, nervous, and anxious. Yeah, Mike. Man, I don't think it would make no difference how much money you had or how much you planned or prepared for it before you retire, man. You step out there, man. It's a scary situation. It's something we've never done before. We've never left a job without having another one to go to. And to think you're going to be like that for decades, I think you'd have to be crazy not to be scared. What happens, though, is, for me anyways, my excitement and desire to get the heck out of there, overruled that fear, But it's a scary thing, man. I don't lie. I don't care how many people I talked to or got advice from or had check over my numbers. I had professionals check over my numbers, and I couldn't believe they were right. Like I know more than they do. It's not something you do on a whim, So, I mean, I can totally understand. I stayed a year extra myself just because of it, I don't know about just because of it. There's a lot of reasons, but that was one of them. I couldn't believe what they were telling me. So, I mean, it come as a surprise that I was able to go. That's why I always say that I accidentally fired. How they have fat fire and coast fire and all that. Well, I was an accidental fire. So, Eden from Nebraska. Hopefully, yeah, okay. Bill Green, Nebraska. You ever thought about doing another collab with Josh Scanlon? It's been a while. I don't think I ain't never done a collab with Josh. I don't think. No. I've written him questions and asked him stuff and talked to him and stuff, but I don't think we ain't ever got on YouTube. Nah. No, man, he knows too much, man. I wouldn't get on there and pick his brain over stuff like that. But he answers me every time I've ever written him a question. And Joe Coons, same way. I had a question that I asked him about. I forget what it was about. And a couple of days later, he got right back to me. So, you're right. 55 here. Health issues for me. Health issues force a lot of people out, man. That's why I always tell people when I was working with them up in them guys at the plant, man, as long as you want to work and you're healthy, stay, man. There's nothing saying you got to get out, But when that health starts going and you still got the responsibility of going into the job every day, it gets rough and it wears on you quick. I've seen them guys over there do that. And then all you're doing is making your retirement worse on purpose. Because when you decide to go, you're beat down to nothing. Man, that's my thought, man. I don't know. But that's what I've seen anyways. And I've seen a lot of them not retire until they did get hurt. Like that guy I worked with, I took his job when he retired. He had a heart attack, man. He still wanted to stay in there after that. His wife finally talked him into going. We had a big fellow I worked with down at the string factory. We was on 4-12s. He went over and told the boss man he'd take overtime tonight on graveyard if it had it. He stepped out on the back stoop. It was probably a 4 or 5 foot square little concrete with 3 steps going down it. Just get some fresh air that night, and he never come back in. Never made it back in. He died right there. They say he died at the hospital, but that was get them off of liability. But nah, he died right there. So a lot of them never make it. That lady I worked with at the string factory cut her finger off. She retired the next day. Well, after she got well, But yeah. And that's bad, man. It's nothing to say that stuff won't happen the day you walk out, but man, most people work too hard and too long, put up with too much bull not to have a couple of days in the sunshine, the way I look at it. That's why I like to see people get out if it can. I don't know. I think of it as a waste. If you have the opportunity and you decide not to go. But heck, most people think my retirement's a waste because I don't do but sit here. I cried when I told my boss. I cried during the Zoom call saying goodbye. I was more scared of stress if I stayed longer. That's the way to be. I mean, you don't realize how much stress having a job puts on you. I was a flunky, man. Nothing I did couldn't have been replaced by a 17-year-old high school kid. So, I mean, it didn't make so much sense for me to let that stuff put all that stress on me and getting it while I was working in. So and when you retire, you realize that you had a lot more stress than you ever realized, you know? So, I don't know. I'll be one of the dudes fired people so my people can keep their jobs. I'm lucky that I have had a chance to watch videos like yours, Buzz, Joe, Keith, and Terry. Me talk down from 10 more years to 5, maybe down to 2 or 3. But that's what happened to me, Joe, or Jeff. I'd always planned on retiring at 65. And then just before I turned 55, I seen where, hey, man, I might be able to step out at 60. It was looking good. Then when I turned 55, I was ticked off and tired of it all. And I said, I'm going to see if I can get out as early as I can. I was looking to knock it down to 59, but the information I got from them people said I could go when I was ready. That's why I put it off till I was 57. I'd actually still plan on staying till I was 59, even after I talked to them people. But it got hard, man, making that switch over between shifts. Weekends and holidays, we were 24/7 operation. And the overtime weren't just a couple of hours, it was another shift. You go in and you leave the house at 3 o'clock, you don't get back to about 9 o'clock the next morning. That's a long time, man. It got to the point I really couldn't work the overtime like I used to. And making that changeover, man, it just got harder. So I said, heck, I was that young, 21 years old kid, placing someone. Yeah, but we cared about our job performance. Yep. I think that's a big difference because I always say that the work culture has changed so much in this past 5-10 years. It's not the same kind of place you worked at when you started, and it makes it rough on somebody that started then. Of course, I guess them guys 40 years ago said, man, it's changed a lot too, but it's hard to keep putting up with the bull they got to put up with nowadays in there, knowing you ain't got to be there. I don't know. Retirement season will I work long, hard in here. That's right, Keith and Terry. I mean, that's the truth. You earned it. You paid for it every time you stuck $1 in the bank when you was working. You paid for that time of life right now. It'd be crazy not to spend it. I don't know. Don't let me gripe too much. Don't pay me no attention. Go Lions. Oh, they sure ran. They sure went last weekend, didn't they? Well, they scared 50-some points or something. 52 points or something like that. My goodness. I think they might find the secret to winning the division. Them guys are tough. Let them know, Jeff. Oh, same here. 12-hour day, night swing, 6 a.m. Within 3 years, I paid my full medical, $1,000 a month. Wow. See, my medical is only $700 and something. It went up. I think it was like $718. I think it went up to $726 or something. But I'm fortunate. It comes straight out of my pension. Or it don't come straight out, but my pension covers it. So it's like I'm getting free insurance. And I got I got 8 more years, 7 more years. So if I hadn't had that, I'd had to go on Obamacare. And we would have got it for little or nothing. Because we just don't bring that much home. It's hard to make the switch to retirement, but you're giving me confidence to make it happen. Steam Donkey 56. It is hard. And we still have trouble with spending. We just do. It doesn't feel natural to spend and not one of us have a job. But, I mean, it ain't near like it was last year. And we kind of understand things a little better. But it still doesn't feel natural. Cancer survivor, Todd. Mike Miller, too. That's amazing. That's something that's, I don't know, man. It's rough. I don't know anybody. Well, no, yeah, I do. I worked with a boy that he was 2-time survivor. And a lady over there was, she was a survivor. She actually had cancer when I went there. You know. But other than that, I don't think I know anybody that's been a survivor. Catch it too late, or catch something they really can't deal with. So I'm glad for y'all, man. Y'all need to get being able to drop a hammer on the slacker's head. You know, I had a crescent wrench hit me right in the head doing time at work. I had my hard hat on. It was sitting on an I-beam up there. One of the mechanics must have left it up there. We had to open the head on the autoclave, big old metal piece, 3-4 foot across, had about 20 bolts around it. And evidently it rattled the I-beams or something. It fell off, hit me right in the head. It's a wonder it didn't fall down an autoclave. If I hadn't had that hard hat on, man, it could have done some damage. I might would have retired on the company expense then. Best of luck. 62 was sure time for me. But heading over to watch the Browns lose. They might surprise you tonight. Congratulations, those who begin. Take care, buzz. Happy Thanksgiving. Worked with 2 guys. They retired 62, died within a year of leaving. I wanted to leave 0 estate. Those who go through cancer treatment are some of the strongest people I know. That's the truth, man. It takes a big toll on the body. It's a big killer in our family. Everybody in Dad's family either had a heart attack or cancer. Every one of them. Yeah. Going his brothers, his mom and dad. And I think it went back to his granddad too. So, and then none of them lived long at all. Some of them, that's probably 50-50, the ones that made it to 65. So longevity doesn't run in our family much. So, well, good. I think I'm about called up. I must have missed some things, I'm sure. But anyways, man, it's getting ready to be pushing an hour in. I don't want to hold nobody in it longer. I don't normally go longer than about an hour. But I just like coming home here and chit-chatting with y'all, and y'all get me some I get to know you guys a little bit better. And it helps me understand what you guys are seeing, what you guys are feeling. And I felt it all too, pretty much the same. The nerves, the concern you got, you know. And somehow you work through it, man. It's just like somehow you got to retirement. You look back, it's like that guy at the park told me, man. You look back and can't believe he did all that stuff. And it's the same way now, man. You look back and think, man, how in the world did I get here? You know? So, I don't know. Go Steelers. Dad was a big Steelers fan. Because they didn't live far from Pittsburgh. That's a couple-hour drive, I imagine. My aunt don't live far either. That's where they used to go to the hospital at whenever they got had to have cancer treatments. They'd go up to Pittsburgh Hospital up yonder. My uncle's. Worst that can happen to you is you go get a part-time job. It is. It is. And that was my initial plan. I wanted to back off slowly. I couldn't do it at work. It was either full-time or nothing. But then I got worried, man, if I go full-time, 6 months I'd have been working 40, 50, 60 hours. It's just the way I would have done it. But then I knew if I didn't take a part-time, after a year, I'd never want to go to work. So it's either all or nothing for me. But it still comes across my mind from time to time. The minimum wage here in Virginia is so high now. I mean, it'd almost be crazy not to take a part-timer if you had a chance at it. Especially if it's just a few bucks. I mean, it's just for extra money or something. Yeah, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I'll probably do one video next week. Maybe put out another junk video the Wednesday before. I got a handful of them just to throw out. And but in case I forget and I don't get to talk to anybody, because I won't do any after that. I'll be I guess it'll be a Cowboy Tuesday or so, probably. I don't know. It won't be next week. I'll probably put one out Monday. Nice to meet you tonight, Steve. I watch your videos, enjoy hearing about your retirement. Jill. Well, I appreciate it. My kids do better than me. Shouldn't be too hard. I agree. For me, anyways. Happy Goblet. Wishing you and your family a wonderful, relaxing Thanksgiving. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Safe travels to those that have to travel. Yeah, especially over the holidays. It sure gets busy out there. It's dangerous. A lot of nuts get out there this time of year for some reason. You know, one of the tricks comedians used to have so they wouldn't go over their allotted time when they was telling jokes was they'd always light a cigarette. And time that thing burnt down, then they knew it was time to go. Well, my glass is empty, so serves more than one purpose. But y'all have a great Thanksgiving in case I don't see you or talk to you again. And I sure do appreciate everybody showing up. It was awful nice of y'all. And I enjoyed it. And I hope you did too. But y'all take care of yourselves, man. And we'll talk with y'all later. All right, baby.